Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Madison. My name is Rosalind Woodward. My pronouns are she, her, and I serve as worship associate here. Today, I'm joined by the worship team of the Reverend Kelly Crocker, Linda Warren, Drew Collins, Daniel Carnes, and the string band. A very warm welcome and thank you to Kina Atkinson, Shah Braxton, and Marisol Gonzalez, our speakers from the UW Odyssey program, for being with us and sharing their stories and their wisdom with us today. The UW Odyssey project, I'm sorry, I had to turn over a whole slew of pages here. Offers University of Wisconsin-Madison humanities classes for adult students facing economic barriers to college. The majority of students that participate in the Odyssey course are from racial and ethnic minority groups, about 90% of them, and are often overcoming the obstacles of single parenthood, homelessness, drug and alcohol addiction, incarceration, depression, and domestic abuse. Thank you to all those who volunteer in many roles today: greeters, ushers, hospitality providers, lay ministers, and sound technicians. At the First Unitarian Society, we question boldly, listen humbly, grow spiritually, act courageously, and love unapologetically. If you're visiting us today, we're very glad you're with us. If you'd like more information about the First Unitarian Society, please stop by the welcome table located in the Commons. We hope you'll be able to stay and join us for coffee hour immediately after the service, also in the Commons. And now I invite you to join me in a moment of silence to center ourselves and bring ourselves fully into this time as we join together once again in community.
Welcome all who seek renewal in a weary world.
Welcome all who come with love and energy to share.
Welcome to those who worry for the future.
Welcome each one who is grateful for today.
Know that in this place you are not alone.
In community, we share our strength with one another, and we keep the flame of love burning bright.
Know that in this place responsibility is shared.
Here, tradition holds us. Ancestors shine a light from the past.
Here, the young lift their bright faces and beckon us onward.
Take my hand, and we can go on together.
We invite you now to rise in all the ways we do, joining together in the words of affirmation as we light our chalice. With faith to face our challenges, with love that casts out fear, with hope to trust tomorrow, we accept this day as the gift it is, a reason for rejoicing. And we invite you now to take a moment to turn and greet those around you.
Let's remain standing and sing together our opening hymn, number 347, Gather the Spirit. Gather the Spirit, harvest the power, our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour, our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in strength, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun, winter and spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
So, our story today is about that guy up there on the screen. Does anybody know who that is? Humpty Dumpty. What do we know about Humpty Dumpty? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Okay. Good job. I just want you to know that all the grown-ups at 9 o'clock said it too, even with a carpet full of children. It was the grown-ups who were talking about Humpty Dumpty, and I just love it. So I have a story for you today about Humpty Dumpty, but it's about Humpty Dumpty, what happens after that fall. And I love that this author took that story that we all know by heart and can still obviously recite in a room together and said, okay, I don't think that's the end of his story. So let's see what happens. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. We know that one, don't we? The parts that can't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. I mean, look at that picture. Do you want the sugar bunnies or do you want the leaves and the grown-up food down there on the bottom shelf? right? I mean, I have had fiber flakes. It is not a pleasant experience. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. Look at that, the paper airplane. My plane was perfect and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again. But then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing one step at a time until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up and learned how to fly. Here's the thing about that story. Where do birds come from? Why did it take me years of reading this story to realize that fact? I thought it was just a lovely metaphor about overcoming our fears and flying. And when I finished at 9 o'clock, one of the kids went, "What?" I always thought Humpty Dumpty was just an egg. Just an egg. And inside Humpty Dumpty, of course, is that gorgeous bird, just like every one of us.
This next hymn we're going to sing about if I could be a bird in the sky, how sweet it would be if I found I could fly. But the song is about much more than that. It's one of my favorites in our entire hymnal. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. And it's important to acknowledge that it applies best to a part of the population to which I do not belong, to which most of us here do not belong. Most of us don't know what it's like to not be free. Oppression comes in many guises and to some degree finds us each and all, but some are decidedly less free than others. So as we sing this important civil rights song, I invite you to acknowledge the privileges you enjoy and also consider the viewpoint of a fellow citizen who might directly resonate with these words. Let's rise in body and or in spirit so we can sing together as allies to those whom this song best represents. Hymn number 151, I wish I knew how it would feel to be free, verses 1, 2, and 4. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all these chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I could say. I say 'em loud, say 'em clear for the whole world to hear. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear for the whole world to hear. I wish I could share all the love in my heart, remove all the bars that still keep should be free, and then you'd see and agree. Everyone should be free. I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea. And then I'd sing, 'cause I know how it feels to be free. And then I'd sing, 'cause I know how it feels to be free.
The theologian Martin Buber tells one of my favorite rabbinical stories of Rabbi Zuzia, who lived in the late 1700s. When Rabbi Zuzia was about to die, his students gathered around him, many of whom were now respected rabbis themselves. Suddenly, Rabbi Zuzia began to weep. "Teacher," they said with deep concern, "why are you crying? You have lived a good, pious life. You've left many students and disciples to tell your story and teach your lessons. Soon you are going on to the next world. Why cry?" Rabbi Zuzia responded, "I see what will happen when I enter the next world. Nobody will ask me, why was I not Moses? I'm not expected to be Moses. Nobody will ask me, why was I not Rabbi Akiba? I'm not expected to be Rabbi Akiba. They will ask me, why was I not Zuzia? That is why I am crying. I am asking, why was I not Zuzia?" This story is often told as a teaching tale to remind us of the importance of trusting ourselves, of learning how to believe in our own abilities, to know who we are and trust ourselves to do the work that is uniquely ours to do. But oftentimes, trusting ourselves is easier said than done. How often do we look to others to help us know which decision to make? How many times have we sold ourselves short because we didn't believe in our own abilities? How many of us have blamed ourselves when someone else has broken our trust? We often say, "I should have known, I should have trusted myself." There are many times in our lives when we are asked to trust ourselves, when we take a risk such as marriage or divorce, going back to school, changing careers, moving to a new city, choosing to be a parent. We have to trust that we will rise to the occasion, that we will have what it takes to meet the moment. Moments such as these ask us to risk, sometimes risk it all, to find ourselves. When we take a chance, especially on ourselves, we often call them leaps of faith. The Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard theorized that leaps of faith are the act of believing in something outside the boundaries of reason, believing we can do what may feel impossible, achieving what others did not think we could achieve. Why was I not Zuzia? Today we are joined by 3 participants in the UW Odyssey project to tell us about their own leaps of faith, to tell us how they answered that question for themselves. Today they will remind us that we are each called to the action of putting our uniqueness, our individuality, and our truest selves confidently and proudly into the world. It is a call to act with integrity and authenticity. Keena Atkinson was homeless and sleeping on the floor of a barber shop with her young son when she applied for the UW Odyssey project in 2009. She now has her UW bachelor's degree, has won community awards, including the YWCA Woman of Distinction Award, owns a multi-family property, and has businesses of her own. The son who was homeless with her is now in college, and her younger son is in the 4th grade. Marisol Gonzalez came to the United States from Mexico with her family. Marisol, her husband, and oldest son all graduated from Odyssey, and her 2 younger children take part in Odyssey Junior. Marisol recently earned her certification as a bilingual medical interpreter. She has also won awards in the Moth Storytelling Contest and in poetry competitions. And Shar Braxton was told by a Madison High School guidance counselor, "You are not college material." And she internalized that message until seeing a Start College for Free brochure in the South Madison Library introducing her to the Odyssey Project. She graduated from Madison College with numerous awards and now attends UW-Madison, majoring in Chinese and creative writing. She has just been accepted into the UW Study Abroad program and will travel to China this summer. I am deeply grateful that they are with us today. May we open ourselves to their stories and their wisdom. Welcome Kina, Marisol, and Shar.
Thank you for having us today. My name is Kina. My notes were out of order. This is called my first leap. People talk about what happens when they finally take the leap. They say something about finally flying or finally feeling free. The way I would describe it is shackles disintegrating off of me. Can I tell you about the way my life changed before my eyes? I feel like it is a responsibility that I share some of my story, that I testify about how I became familiar enough with my fears to face them, and how my weaknesses became an internal GPS guide, navigating me through my hurts, delivering me to my healing. Taking the leap meant I couldn't avoid or overlook the truth any longer. Maybe I jumped, or maybe I got close enough to the edge that I kind of sort of fell, kind of like Humpty Dumpty. Either way, there was no looking back. The world didn't disappear when I took my leap. My problems didn't disappear. What changed was my perspective, my beliefs about me. I realized that I was capable and able the whole entire time. But when I was finally willing to follow through and take my leap, I could see my life from a magnificent bird-like POV. It was me that changed. So what do you do when you jump into the wind? Take a big breath in, and there's only one thing you can do next. Let it go. Let go of it all. Let it all out. The doubts, the worries, the hesitations, the fears. Leave those big, heavy, hefty, limiting beliefs behind you when you leap. You can scream, shout, or cry. Face to the sun, wind beneath your feet. Let it all out. Take your leap. When stepping out on faith, here are a few things that I've learned. It won't be easy. It won't be perfect. It will still be worth it. Sometimes new things are hard, and some hard things only have to be done one time to change your life. I left my abusive alcoholic child's father many times and went back. But there was finally only one very last time. When I took the leap into motherhood for the second time, I chose to move forward with my pregnancy. As a result, I knew I would be a single mom yet again. I had a C-section to my surprise, Went home a week later with instructions to carry less weight than a gallon of milk. I went into the gas station on my way home from the hospital to buy milk for my older child. I broke down and cried in the gas station milk cooler. 7 days postpartum, in the milk cooler, I asked God to cover me. I asked God, how am I going to keep my children safe when I just risked my life giving birth to my child and I can barely carry a gallon of milk to the register? God help me. I committed in the cooler as a single mother to be the protector of my 2 children. I committed to doing my best to take care of myself so that I could do a good job taking care of and raising them. Sometimes a leap looks like taking just one chance or making one choice that changes your perspective. One hard conversation with a parent, one push of a block button, walking away from alcohol, no longer settling for less, taking just one breath before responding. One idea of what better can look like just once can turn into for good. I walked away from my relationship with my second child's father in my first trimester. I loved him and I left. I finally loved myself more. Someone had to love me. Someone had to protect me. Who better to set the standard for me than me? I had to befriend my own anger in order to tame it. And in order to survive sadness, shame, and suffering, I've had to forgive myself over 10,000 times so far. Faith builds, and then confidence grows. Change happens in the same way that seeds and soils turn into sprouts. Signs of transformation and growth, then first leaves appear that eventually bloom into flowers. That over time, with patience, nurturing, and care, that one flower, just like you and I, can offer many beautiful gifts in the form of seeds. If you ask God to make you stronger, please prepare to do hard, heavy things. If you ask God to give you patience, please be prepared to wait. In Wisconsin summertime construction, for example, and be tested. A bountiful harvest is on the other side of perseverance, tenacity, focus, and determination. I asked God for clarity and discernment, and I began to clearly see my purpose. When I asked God to turn my fears into faith and help me be of service, God stepped in and paired my curiosity with courage. Little by little, over many seasons after my first leap, at least 10 summers and more snow days ago than I can count, I've become the woman that I used to wish I could be. One day I realized I am the woman who I dreamed of. Wow. I've finally become my own wildest dreams. I've found my authentic, unapologetic, courageous voice. I am confident, kind, and compassionate. I am so proud of the way that I raise my children, the future leaders of this generation. I show up and I am present for the good days, and I show up for the hard ones. I am surrounded by the very love that I lead with and deserve. And I know I make a difference in this world. So, if you ask God to keep you, please trust that you will be kept. And if you are wondering if you should take your leap, I'm wondering why you haven't already leapt. Thank you.
Leap of Faith by me, Marisol Gonzalez. My son was 4 years old when the doctor told me he needed eye surgery. I was a single mother then and worked as a Spanish teacher in a home daycare, earning $4 per hour without health insurance. My son had a lazy eye. The doctors say the only way to cure that was with an easy and fast ambulatory surgery. The only thing I needed to do was to schedule an appointment. But it took me 1 whole year to call and schedule the appointment because the cost of the easy and fast ambulatory surgery was $25,000. In my mind, $25,000 was all the money in the world. The truth is, with a salary of $4 per hour, it will take me 782 days of work without spending a penny. How was I going to do that? I pray and pray for many days and nights. I pray for wisdom, and mostly I pray for a miracle until I found the answer in my own experience. When I was little, I needed eye surgery too. The surgery was complicated and required hospitalization and 1 year in bed. My parents were so poor that they couldn't afford it. And with time, the connection between my brain and my eye got lost. As a result, I can only see with one eye. I knew I couldn't do the same thing for my son. So I got the courage and made the appointment. I told them I probably was going to pay them for the rest of my life, but that was okay. I need my son to get his surgery. We scheduled the appointment, and they told me that they will call me with details of the procedure 1 week before the appointment. When I received the call, the receptionist told me the time when he needed to stop eating and drinking. She went over allergies, family history, and medical conditions. And when she got into payment, I quickly responded, I will make a payment plan. The nurse got quiet, and I get scared. I thought she would not accept my payment plan. We had already waited 1 year. My son's eye condition was just getting worse with time. Then she said, I'm so sorry. I need to verify something. I was so worried that the waiting time seems like an eternity. Finally, she talked again, saying, one more time, I'm so sorry. In my head, I'm so sorry for what? Then I hear, I'm so sorry to make you wait. Then she continued, I have never experienced something like this before, but it seems like the doctor in the hospital decided to do the surgery for free. What? I asked. Did I hear you right? Do you say for free? Yes, you don't have to pay for the surgery. I replied, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, with tears dripping down my cheeks. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I would like to tell you that that was the end of my story, but it was not, because years later, my son needed a second surgery, as the doctor predicted since the beginning. This time was the other eye, and the procedure was the same, easy and fast ambulatory surgery. I know this time I was going to pay for it, and I was okay with it. But guess what? The second surgery was also for free. My reality was the same as many immigrants like me, My income was very similar to the previous years, so they knew I couldn't afford it. Taking the leap of faith helped me to see that there is still people with so much kindness that they can share it with others. And in times like the one we are living right now, this story helped me to keep my faith in God and humanity. Another example of a leap of faith was applying and getting accepted into the UW Odyssey project, since this program transforms people's lives. Thanks to the Odyssey project, I was able to improve my English and go back to school to become a healthcare interpreter. Now I give back by volunteering at the free clinics in Madison.
Thank you all for being here and having us. In a classroom full of whispers and stares, I was the only black girl alone in my prayers. Spit on, ridiculed, a target to blame. The teacher said nothing, but I knew their shame. I stood tall, hurt, and scorned, a warrior within, though my heart was torn. In the halls of high school with dreams to soar, I spoke of college, wanting more. But the counselor said, "You're not college material." Words so cruel. I wiped the tears, turned my face to light, and with every step, I grew stronger in my fight. The years were heavy, scars buried deep inside. Mental and physical battles that I could not hide. Bruised but not broken, I kept pushing through. The pain was my fuel. It taught me what's true. In the silence of the night, I cried and I prayed. But I learned that each trial was a price I had paid. I faced the past with the courage to heal. For I am alive and my strength is real. Then came the day I stepped into the light. A minute to college, my future in sight. Studying English and Chinese, my mind was set free. Then came the revelation, a truth so raw. Through every leap of faith, I stand here today. not defined by my scars or the things in my way. For every moment I was told I would fall, I rose. I rose from the ashes and leaped into my destiny. Unstoppable, unbroken. Now I wear a badge, leaps of faith. Wo I ni, shia ni. What I just said to you in Chinese, I love you and thank you.
Now it's time to invite you into the time of giving and receiving, where we give freely and generously to this offering, which sustains and strengthens our community here, and also our outreach offering recipient, which today is the UW Odyssey program. Odyssey students, as you've already heard, report transformative outcomes, and some have even moved, from homelessness to bachelor's and master's degrees. Students also say that they read more to their children, feel that they are better parents and advocates for their children, in school, have more hope about their own futures, and are more likely to vote and become involved in their communities. There are multiple ways to share your gifts this morning. Baskets are now being passed here in the auditorium for cash or checks, or you can donate directly from our website, fusmadison.org. And you'll see on the screen our new text to give information. We thank you for your generosity and your faith in this life we create together.
Thank you so much. Each week we gather together, bringing with us the joys and the losses of our days. We share them here, knowing they are held in love and in support. Katie White asks us to light a candle in joy and gratitude for the many FUS community members who brought meals to her family after she broke her wrist while ice skating last month. Katie writes, "The meals provided vital sustenance and physical help at a time when I wasn't able to cook. The deliveries and well wishes also lifted my spirits immensely during a hard time. Thank you." And we light a candle for Stephanie Kubert, who says, "This is in memory of my mom, Alice, who left this world 1 year ago today. Thank you, Mom, for all of the ways in which you shaped my life." And we light a candle for all who are struggling today, for weary hearts and broken spirits and disillusioned souls. May arms surround you, friends heal you, and love hold you. I invite you to turn with us now in an attitude of meditation and prayer, with these words from Kristen Green. Spirit of love and truth, help us to feel you in our breathing in and breathing out. Quiet our minds, if only for a moment. Still our bodies, if only for a moment. Soothe our souls in this holy moment. When uncertainty pervades, give us rest from worry. When fear rises, give us peace. When pain surfaces, give us a balm. Some of our spirits are so weary. Some of our bodies feel fried. Some of our minds are frantic and uneasy. Spirit of life-giving love, remind us of the cycles of life so that we might turn toward the dawn, turn toward the thaw, and turn toward the rebirth of spring with new hope. Make that hope alive in us. Ignite that hope so it burns brighter than our fears, and may that bright hope shine for others to witness, that our faith might be a beacon and our love a lamp to light the way. O luminous Spirit, fill us with gratitude as we turn toward one another in the human family, never alone on our journeys, always reminded of a greater love that holds all. Blessed be, and amen.
Now I invite you to rise in body and or in spirit so we can sing our closing hymn number 301, Touch the Earth, Reach the Sky, verses 1 through 3. Touch the earth, reach the sky, walk on shores while spirits fly, over the ocean, over the land, our faith a quest to understand. Touch the earth, reach the sky, children ask the reasons why. In our lives the answer's sure, and by your love they learn and grow. Touch the earth, reach the sky, all are born and all shall die. Life the time left in between, to follow a star, to build a dream.
No matter how weak or how frightened we may feel, each of us has gifts that can make a difference in the world. In the coming week, may you do at least one thing to support the broken, to welcome the stranger, to celebrate what is worthy, to do the work of justice and love. Be strong, be connected. Each day act so you and the world may be a little more whole. Blessed be, go in peace, and please be seated for the postlude.